Shalom, everyone. Okay, so I want to leave a more of a serious message now. As I'm just sitting here in the sun, and I'm asking the Lord for a new perspective, just taking a moment in the sun, and now the sun's going in, and ask for a new perspective. And here's what the Lord showed me, and He doesn't just show it for one person. It's not a personal word. It's for the exhortation of the body. We are spirit, and we live in the body. And there's this continual battle between an earthly perspective where you can get down and discouraged and lose hope because of a situation that doesn't seem in the natural to change. But then God calls us up higher and He says, speak the things that are not as though they are. This is what His word says. And so it's almost like we have to have such self-control where our human mind starts to go, oh, this is hopeless. Oh, there's just nothing is changing. This is so discouraging, and despairing. It's like we have to decide, no, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. And so God is calling us up higher. And that's why worship always breaks through, because when we're in the presence of God, in that union, in that fellowship, it's much easier to see it from a godly perspective. But when we're out and about in our daily lives, food shopping, whatever we at work, whatever we have to do, there is this battle. And I guess this battle will continue, sometimes more intense than others. I can say living in Jerusalem. Jerusalem is always intense. It's just that sometimes it's even more intense. And so, but God uses that tension, that constant tension, to catapult us forward. It's like things come to like a head, to a crescendo, and then we take more ground for Yeshua as long as we hold on. So I want to encourage you today, as the Lord is encouraging me. It just takes a second. You stop for a minute, whatever it is. God, help me. I need a new perspective. And so I'm going through something currently in my life. This is my 4th year of this relationship that I can't get away from. And I want God to do everything that He wants to do in my life using this relationship, which it can be very painful, very exacerbating. Yes, I was going to say exasperating, but also exacerbating. And I have to ask Him again for that heavenly perspective. The Word of God tells me to speak the things that are not as though they are. So I need to keep saying thank you for this, and thank you for that, and thank you for this, and thank you for that, of the things, of the things that I need to see happen, instead of getting stuck in my earthly perspective, which is this is going nowhere. It's been almost 4 years. Nothing is changing. So on and so forth. This is an important word. God is encouraging me, and I'd like to, if I can, encourage you with this. That's why we need to eat the Word of God. That's why, gulp, those choice morsels, these delicacies of the Word of God, we need to eat them. We need to have these wonderful scriptures that we can literally eat and appropriate for all of our earthly situations. We are spirit, but we live in a body, and we live in this world. So God, help us today. Help us to choose your perspective. Help us to keep saying thank you. Help us to stop and smell the roses and take a break and get a new perspective so we can continue on. But this is what I want to say, and this is the crux of the matter. If you know that the Lord has brought you somewhere, to someone, to something, you know that you know that you know, and you know that you need to fight for it, then everything that I've just said is truly dafka, bullseye. It applies. It's an example of what I'm saying. If it's something that God hasn't spoken to you about, if it's a relationship or a situation and you're suffering, and God hasn't spoken to you that this is for you, you should remain in this is, where He's brought you, so on and so forth, that's a different story. I'm talking to myself and to those who are struggling, they are where they're planted, where God has planted them. They know for such a time as this, they know God has spoken to them to be in this place, to do this thing, whatever it is, in this relationship. You need to hold on. This word is for those people. So such as myself. God bless you from the city of the great King, Yerushalayim.